Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome back to Port Canaveral. We're back for another 6 Ships Sunday here. We've got the Carnival Venezia we're looking at right now. We've got the Star of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship, down at Cruise Terminal number 1. Down at the end in the West Basin, we have MSC Seashore over at Terminal number 10. Vision of the Seas down at the Disney Terminal, Terminal number 8. That's only because that's the only one available for her to use today. And we have Sky Princess here for the final time of the season, heading out transatlantic this afternoon over at Cruise Terminal number 6, and then the Norwegian Prima down at Cruise Terminal number 5. Hope everybody is having a great Sunday so far, and hope you guys are excited for another awesome set of sailaways here this afternoon. So thank you all for tuning in, and we should get our first departures here underway in probably the next 10 to 15 minutes. But what's going on, everybody here in the chat? Ryan, what's up? Heading out to England today. Yes, she is going transatlantic. What's going on, Stu? Kit, what's up? Jetty to Jet, hello. How's it going, buddy?
Hi, Dante.
Brenda, hello. Yeah, a little bit more daylight today. Yeah, I noticed there was some thunderstorms in the area for Orlando. Thankfully, they're sticking out that way. We're not going to get any over here this afternoon, I hope. But yeah, Maxie Peach, what's up? Oh yes, my assistant ship spotter here wants to let you know that Sky Princess has a different departure time than what's on my chat.
It's Sky Princess at 4:30 p.m. today.
Sky Princess at 4:30 today. He caught that error of mine. I guess she's leaving later today because of her transatlantic. Hello everybody. Welcome in. Hope everybody's excited for an awesome Sunday afternoon of some ship spotting. An awesome 6-ship day. And yeah, the bummer, the Sky Princess is leaving super early this season. Usually, for the departures for the like transatlantics and just like leaving for the summer seasons, usually those ships will leave, April, sometimes May, but leaving in March is pretty early. Andre, what's up? Ariel, hello. Seahorse, what's up? Good to see you. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the chat. Welcome in. Afternoon from Symphony of the Seas. Awesome. I think one of my members are on there. I think if it was today, Carrie B, if I'm not mistaken, is on Symphony this week as well. Yes, I really do need an umbrella handy. I agree. Yes, the weather is fantastic today. Not too many clouds in the sky. All the clouds in the background are kind of sitting out over Orlando for some thunderstorms, but they're sticking out over Central Florida today, which is good. Yes, hope you have a great cruise, though, on Symphony. She's one of my favorites. She's a fantastic ship. Cruise Max. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Looks like Marina's going to be fresh out of dry dock for your cruise next month. She should be pristine and new looking. That's awesome. Yeah, she's in Freeport getting that done, right? I don't think she's over in Cadiz. Star of the Seas next Sunday. Dude, this week is going to... It's always the week before the cruise that goes the slowest, but once you get on board, you're going to have an awesome time, man. I'm hyped for you. Freeport. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that they're using stuff in Freeport again. I know they just opened up a new dry dock, and I think they completely redid the 2 existing ones as well. So that's awesome. What's that? Mariner should only be getting some routine maintenance. Every 5 years they have to go in for dry dock. Just making sure, the isopods are working correctly and making sure the engines are functioning properly. paint the ship and replace the carpets.
They replaced the carpets.
Yeah,
It's like as soon as you walk in, they replaced the carpets.
yeah. Just ships get old over time, and things wear out, taking on new passengers every week. So every 5 years, they try to freshen things up. Last week we had a major snowstorm, and today it's hot. Oh my gosh, two completely different dynamics. That's crazy.
Looks like Glory's last dry dock was in 2021 because
Hmm.
he's going for a dry dock on Tuesday. She's leaving.
Yep, Glory's got a dry dock soon. She's going across to Cadiz for that dry dock, which is weird. But Glory's got one soon. I should be here next Sunday, yes. I think probably a 95% chance I'll be here next Sunday, unless it's just like adverse weather. I don't believe I have anything going on.
What about Saturday? Will you be here Saturday?
Yeah, I should be here Saturday as well. Hello from Canton, Georgia. Oh, cool. Got some Georgia people in the chat today.
No, Venezia dropping ropes.
I'm not from Canton, but I used to live near there. I grew up a little bit, what is that? A little bit east of there. But welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, hopefully they fix that funnel. States bipolar. That's how Florida is too. Carnival Legends going from Galveston to dry dock end of April, then a 4-day out of Miami before transatlantic. And you're going to the, oh, awesome. Oh, that's right. I remember you mentioning you were going to do a transatlantic on that. That's awesome. I still haven't done a transatlantic cruise.
What is Legend gonna do for the transatlantic?
Where does that go? Does it just go straight across, or is it stopping anywhere?
Because I know it's gonna be home ported in Port Everglades.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Allure and Oasis are leaving. So Allure or Oasis is probably gonna stay. So one of them has to stay and Legend.
Pilot on Venezia.
Venezia's dropping lines. She'll definitely push off at least before 8.
We're currently dropping lines. We got to turn around in the middle basin, then we'll be the first ones outbound here in probably about 15, 20 minutes or so. We're just checking on your plans. We are going to start moving to the south right now. Okay, understood. And we'll call you once we're outbound just to check on those wires. Roger that. Stand by.
All right. Carnival Venezia is officially our first one out this afternoon. She is currently dropping lines, and she'll be getting underway here in the next couple minutes.
Is it 15 to 20 minutes to probably be out?
Transatlantics are awesome. Yeah, I haven't been on one. I'd like to. I was originally going to be booked on Legend of the Seas Transatlantic, but unfortunately I just don't have that kind of PTO time. But would have been really cool. There's a Liverpool. Okay, cool. Nice. That's awesome. Traveling to Miami, Florida in 4 weeks from. Oh, cool. So you're going to be down, I'm assuming in April. I'll be in Miami going on a cruise in April, actually. Going out of there. That's cool. I hope you have a good time.
Go ahead.
Being whale tailless makes it. It definitely does.
Roger, I'll be there a little early.
What ship is this?
Should be back at Canaveral in April after the cruise vlogs come out. Cool. Nice. Awesome.
Oh, I think that's the dredger that's making its horn.
Yep.
So I think the dredger's gonna put. There's an ant on my leg.
Thank you.
Right, there was an ant just on my leg. I don't know how it got. I don't know how that's sticky.
Hmm.
I mean, ant even got on my leg.
As the stream gets going here, be sure to leave a like on the stream. Lets me know that you guys are having a good time. Lets YouTube know to recommend this stream to more people as well. And of course, if you're new here, we do this every single weekend here from Port Canaveral and other Florida cruise ports. So definitely subscribe if you're someone new tuning in for the first time, and welcome to the channel. Still getting over the fact that they decided to go with azipods on World Asia. Yeah, definitely a good choice. I think, well, I think the thing that's good with Europa and World America is that they have bow and stern thrusters to where it kind of helps them a little bit. And I think that's what the Seaside class, that's what MSC's done primarily in lieu of doing the azipods, but I think overall the azipods are just better to have. Despite the inconsistency with their reliability, the azipods are just overall better to have for propulsion. It's just so much more efficient. But they're just not as reliable and they're so fragile, and that's why there's so many issues with them. But I hope it all goes well with World Asia though when it comes to, you know, changing up that type of propulsion. That's definitely a big move for them. Right, exactly. That's the reason why azipods are the reason why the larger ships are actually easier to maneuver than the little ones, because
Carnival Venezia, PT3 right now, about to round up the middle basin.
but yeah, azipods, because they can spin 360 degrees, with those combined with bow thrusters, it makes it to where they can pretty much turn on a dime if they really wanted to. They make it extremely easy to handle. Of course, just having such a large ship, it's going to be hard in the first place, and it's never going to be easy, but it definitely makes it a lot easier to move them around. Some of these places wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the azipods being able to squeeze them in. You did sim testing for World Europa? That's insane. That's actually cool. All right, let's go ahead and knock you guys back here just a little bit. Venezia should be coming off the dock here momentarily. There's a couple bees hanging around where I'm at today, and I'm hoping I don't get stung. I believe, is Icon 4 this week or is it next week? Should be getting some news relatively soon. Those are actually just regular public cabins. They're treated like an aft cabin almost. They're treated like an aft balcony in a sense, but they're just not built, and they're almost like a cove balcony, but not a cove. They just have like the platform of the ducktail is the platform you can walk out onto, which is interesting. Vista does not have them, but they started doing that with the Horizon. They added those cabins down there. If Oasis is moving to Galveston, no, actually, you guys are getting Icon of the Seas, though, which is, I guess, surprise. It's hard to say that there's a better ship than Oasis, but if there is one, it's going to be an Icon class. But yes, Icon is confirmed to be moving over to Galveston, Texas in 2027. Yes, 27. Following the arrival of the aforementioned Oasis, or Icon 4. No date yet. Really? I thought it got moved up to sometime this month. Yeah, I can only imagine. It's probably noisy down there. Those probably aren't the most comfortable cabins, if we're being if we're being honest. There she goes. Yeah, Icon 4 will definitely be replacing her in Miami for sure. Oasis 7 is really falling under the radar. I agree. It's so crazy that we're even getting that 7th one in the first place. March, no date. Okay, that makes sense. Hopefully it's soon. I mean, realistically, they got to get that announced. People want to book that. People are booking 2027 sailings already, so. Have Symphony in 27 along with Icon coming into Galveston, so if Symphony gets replaced, yeah, I think they would replace it with another Oasis class. Not sure which one, but it would be interesting. That'll be, honestly, that's going to be so good for Galveston, having an Oasis and an Icon at the same time, and Liberty. That'll be really good.
What rental icon should we do when it goes to Galveston?
I believe it'll do 7 nights.
What day?
Saturdays? It would be cool to have Oasis down there. Do I have a cabin preference when cruising? I always prefer the balconies, but I feel like I get the interiors more just for the cost effectiveness of having them. By cheaping out a little bit on the room, I don't spend a whole lot of time in there. So somebody's blasting some music. Okay. But yeah, the cost effectiveness of having a interior cabin, just kind of cheapen out a little bit. Don't spend a whole lot of time in the room. But then we got the balcony. If that's going to be the most comfortable, well, other than a suite, that's going to be the most comfortable. You're going to have the nice place to sit out, relax outside the room, the little patio, which is always really nice. Catch your ship leaving November 8th on the Seashore. If that's a Sunday, I will definitely make that happen.
Who's the chat? Who said November 8th?
I don't know. Did Michael Bailey tease an Icon in California? I know. I'd actually heard they had thought about an Oasis over there. I'd never heard anything of an Icon, though. That would be crazy, though.
Wait, who said November 8th?
One of the viewers in chat.
What's his username in chat?
6, 7, and 8s. Okay, yeah. I remember, because that's what Harmony does right now.
Because Chase is also going on the Seashore. November 8th, so who's ever going on that day? Wait, how long do you hold your shorts for?
Around 10 to 15 seconds.
So how much do you do it? Because I bet that was longer, so
November 8th is a Sunday. Okay, yeah, if it's a Sunday, I will definitely be there. Unless I book a cruise between now and then, which I don't believe so, and the one that I have on my radar for November leaves a few days afterwards. So I think the chances are good. Chances are very high that I will be there that day.
because Chase is gonna be on Seashore that day.
Cool.
So we gotta wave him out. He said because
Michael Bailey said if California keeps doing good, he would send them an Icon someday. Okay, but who knows? Okay, I think that's the key word, is the someday part of it. That's definitely the key word there. That's kind of like I think, what was it, 2022? He teased like, oh, an Icon would come to Galveston someday. Now it's been 5+ years since Icon. you know, by the time she gets over to Galveston. So yeah, someday is, you know, 5+ years down the road, but if it's on his radar, I'm sure it'll happen eventually. He's one of the best CEOs when it comes to execution, because he'll deliver on the promises. You know, the time frame of those promises, you know, coming into fruition is always set to be determined, but 9 times out of 10, he usually follows through on anything that he, you know, kind of talks about, which is always really cool. Yes, not draw them away from NYC. I had heard at one point that they were looking into putting an icon seasonally up there. Maybe they'll do that with the 5th one. I don't know, but
Where?
it would be cool.
What fifth one? Icon.
Yeah, I think icon 6 and number 7 would probably be the best bets for stuff like that too. I do last minute cruises. Actually, this most recent one that I did, Norwegian Star, I booked that 10 days out. I booked that one 10 days ahead of time. Usually I like to plan everything out ahead of time, and I book a lot of stuff at once is also part of the problem. And so, like, if I book one cruise, there's usually like 5 more that follow shortly afterwards, to where I'd like spend, you know, several hundred in deposits within 1 month, which is always fun. But I usually will book a couple at a time, and I usually try to get my year planned out. But if I can ever squeeze one in and something falls in for the right price, I'll jump on something last minute too. I usually try to build in a little bit of a buffer in case I can hop on something. Disney Wish is not here today. She'll be here tomorrow. "49 days till Seashore." Awesome. Have a great time. Seashore is a great ship. Yes, Disney Wish will be here tomorrow. No Disney ships today, which is surprising. Usually every other Sunday we'll end up with the Fantasy down at terminal number 8, but those off weekends like today, we have Vision down there coming in as a port of call from Baltimore. What's up?
Vision doesn't go to Baltimore anymore.
No, is it?
I think it goes to North.
Is it sailing out of Norfolk right now?
What did you say?
What's Vision's home port? Is it Baltimore or is it Norfolk?
It's
On the Carnival Venezia,
Polly.
Filing on the Venezia. Yeah, we are clear to the south, but the wire's down. Clear to the south, wires are down. Thank you.
Is it Baltimore? Okay. I know she was leaving Baltimore sometime soon. At least I had heard something about that.
Call Freedom's going to no flick, I believe. That's where Call Freedom's going.
49 days till Seashore. All right. When's everybody's next cruise? How long and what ship are you going on? Hope you have a great time on Seashore though. That's a great ship. That's one of my favorites. I sailed on her early last year. What's up?
Ask my mom and see if she can book November 8th for Seashore, so I can go hang out with Chase on there. I bet it's gonna be so fun. Because if we break off the dock again, I will go mad. If we actually do that.
Probably has FOMO. Whole family is in Tampa. Yeah, her whole family's in Tampa. That's right. Mariner on April 9th. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So when is Mariner done with dry dock? She's been in for about a week or so, right? So she should be done relatively soon. Adventure in July. Nice. That's another good one.
Is it Disney Adventure or Adventure of the Seas?
Adventure of the Seas.
Adventure when? Adventure of the Seas when?
Yeah, speaking of Disney Adventure, her maiden voyage is this week.
It's the 10th.
Yep, on the 10th.
It's literally Tuesday.
March 16 or 7. Okay, not too bad. It's been a few weeks since I've seen the Adventure, but I'll be seeing her next Saturday. When we're out here next weekend, she'll be here.
She does two. I believe she does Fridays and Saturdays. Adventure.
Ooh, Firenze in 29 days. That's sweet. That's a cool one. She's coming she's coming to Canaveral next year, something like that.
He's coming to Port
That's cool. Firenze is a really nice one. I loved the Venezia when I sailed on it, so I've got my eye on Firenze when she's here.
Because if Venezia gonna park where Venezia's parked,
Never book out of here in Baltimore for some reason. Yeah, I've noticed that. The prices are a little higher. Any good sites for booking last minute cruises? Shameless plug with that. I am affiliated with a travel agency called Cruises It. I do get a commission if you use, there's actually links in the description here. They do have really good last minute deals. But if you do book through them using that link in the description, I would receive a commission. So if you want to check them out, they do great stuff. They get me some fantastic deals myself, but they definitely do great work and they can get you a really good deal. But yeah, check them out. They usually have some really good last minute deals. They got me a good deal whenever I booked Norwegian Star last minute. Yeah, they got good stuff there. They take good care of you too. NCL out of New York on March 14th. Nice. Is that the Breakaway up there? That's an awesome ship I want to go on, is the Breakaway. Back to Icon in California. I personally think if number 6 or 7 get built, then they would come to Florida. Older ones would go to California, New York. Exactly. Yeah, they're gonna pretty much debut. Just about every Icon class is going to debut in Florida, and then they'll use the existing Icon fleet to backfill these new places. A prime example is the Icon going to Galveston. Next cruise is Royal Caribbean Harmony of the Seas, the 15th to the 19th. Carnival Vista from the 19th to the 27th. Oh, cool. I'm on Harmony in August. I'm very excited for that one. She's gonna be fresh out of dry dock and fresh back into Port Canaveral.
what's Disney Icon?
Hmm?
What's Disney Icon?
Oh, Icon of the Seas. For those who are just tuning in, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream here. We've got the Carnival Venezia here, first ship underway. She is our first departure of 5. The only one we're going to miss out today on is Vision of the Seas at around 9 or 10 p.m. But definitely leave a like on the stream if you guys are enjoying. Lets me know that you're having a good time. And of course, lets YouTube know to recommend the stream more. And of course, if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. We do this every single weekend here in Port Canaveral.
Violet's going to New York.
Cool. Cool.
Because she's leaving Miami for some reason, but I guess she's going over to New York, and then Jeff's going over to New York.
See, 77 days till another Seashore. Nice. Be on the other side of the ship this time. Joy on the 20th. Nice. That's a good ship too.
It's going to New York to the Independence.
Cool.
What? Independence going to New York? I only want them to stay in Miami.
Your second with Royal, usually cruise with Carnival. Nice, that's cool. That's always nice to change it up. I think I guess technically I have the most amount of nights with Carnival, but Royal's definitely creeping up there pretty quickly, but I like to try everybody. I think each cruise line has something that different to offer than the other, and so it's nice to kind of just get a taste of what every cruise line has to offer. Voyager to out of Seattle, that's cool. I really want to do an Alaska cruise. That's very high up on my list. My parents did Alaska last year on Anthem, and they loved it.
Was it 2024 or 2025 when your parents did that?
Yeah. Where's the remote? There we go. Cool. Alrighty. Yeah, I like to try all the cruise lines at once. I think I really like MSC. I also really like what is it? I really like Royal. Royal is probably my favorite out of all of them, but MSC is a very close second. NCL, I'm diving back into them a lot in the future over the next year or so. So I'm very excited for that. I try everybody. I don't have anything Carnival booked, but things change. So if I stumble across a good deal on Festival or Firenze, I'm in. You know what I mean? Family at Sea did a ship ranking video recently for Alaska sailings. Might want to check. Oh, interesting. I will have to check that out. 6 days till you know if you get into MIT. Wow, that's cool. I hope it goes well for you. I hope you get in. Did Alaska on Luminosa. Oh wow, that's cool. That was 23. That was when she first came around to Carnival too. That's cool.
Pretty sure they haven't called her yet.
No, I haven't heard anything from Sky yet.
So Sky could be on 4.
Yeah, Voyager is a fantastic ship. I wish I would have had a chance. I kind of did, and I didn't take the opportunity to go. But I wish I would have gotten to go on her while she was in Canaveral last year. She's a really cool ship. Especially, I mean, she may not be Oasis class, like, game-changing wise, but for the ship that size, and she was the world's largest, obviously, but a ship that size was coming out in '99, like in the late '90s. Like, that's insane just to think about.
Brandon, do you know Oasis is coming back here?
What is?
Oasis is coming back here to Port Canaveral.
Mm-hmm.
But Simi stayed at Miami for some reason. Why did she stay at Miami? Oh, I think. When did Simi start coming in 2024, right? So it's been 2 years since.
NCL or MSC next, booked on Festival. Ooh, that's a good. So NCL is going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're very refined and very polished cruise line. Their service is always top notch. The food is always very, very good, but they do come at a premium cost. But they do include a good bit. Usually in your cruise fare with NCL, they're going to include the drink package, but you can remove that if that's not something you're interested in, which is nice. But their free at sea package does usually include the drink package, a limited amount of Wi-Fi time. It's usually about 150 minutes of Wi-Fi for free. They also give you a shore excursion credit for about $50. And then I think the most important part, at least in my opinion, is they also will include a night of specialty dining for you. So if you go to, like, say, Cagney's Steakhouse, or the what is it, Hasuki for the hibachi restaurant, or the teppanyaki, that's really, really fun, or that's really cool that they include that into your cruise fare. But their food never disappoints. But again, does come out at the extra cost, though, a bit of a premium. On the other hand, MSC is probably the best prices that you're going to find out of anybody. MSC has some of the lowest prices in the entire industry right now. So that's a big advantage for them, but they're not perfect. I do think their free food has some room for improvement, but their specialty meals are up there with NCL, which are the best. So, and they do have very, very pretty ships as well. The ships are very nice. They're usually pretty clean. They're always in very good shape. They take good care of their ships. So It kind of depends on what you're looking for, but I would say if you're willing to spend a couple extra bucks, I would try NCL, get that little bit more polished experience. But yeah, they do include a lot. You kind of get a little nickel and dimed on board, but for the most part, you know, they do have mostly specialty restaurants on board, but again, they'll include at least one, and sometimes, you know, sometimes depending on the length of the cruise, you'll get more. I think for 7 nights, you might even get 2 specialty dining or more than 7, which is nice. Cool.
Because I bet the driver doesn't work at Venezia today.
What college did I attend? I went to University of North Georgia. It's a very small town college up in the North Georgia mountains. Grandeur and Anthem, 2 royal ships that you've been on. Same age difference as Oasis and Oasis. That's crazy to think about. 104 until freedom. Nice. That's cool. And NCL does have very good last minute deals too. Sometimes they'll, MSC and NCL both have some of the best last minute deals. MSC will absolutely tank the prices on their cruises after the typical final payment day. So, because at that point, you know, they can't have the travel agents reprice them. So at that point, like I've seen a 3-night cruise on the MSC Seaside for $150. That's an inside cabin, but $150 for 3 nights is incredible. NCL has some pretty good last minute deals as well. I saw Norwegian Dawn was just recently out of Tampa. There was a 4-night on Dawn for $399, but that had all the goodies included in that. So yeah, those 2 I think are probably the better ones for last minute cruises too. Yeah. First vacation in 2 years? Nice, that's cool. That'll be very nice to go on. Oh, Carnival Victory. Yeah, she looked really bad in 2020. I remember sitting in college, I was like waiting for my class to start and I was watching the Canaveral webcam and they had just like a dumpster barge tied up to the side of it and they were just like tossing couches off the side of the ship. It was crazy.
What would they do with a barge?
It was really cool to see that. Like I vividly remember just like sitting in class waiting for class to start and just like watching that. It was so funny. Because that was right at the beginning of COVID too. It's like just getting awfully close to the edge of the camera. There we go. Venezia looks great today. Very, very good lighting for sure. That's probably the best part about these time changes is that even though we're losing an hour of sleep, which we very much enjoy that extra hour, but getting to stay out a little bit longer and a little bit lighter out is always very much appreciated. Yes, exactly. MSC's best value for sure. 7 nights yacht club, same or less of a 7-night on Royal. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. And sometimes they have decent upgrade offers sometimes too. I've seen some like outlandishly expensive ones, but like I have an offer right now for $100 to upgrade into the yacht club from just a generic balcony for the Seaside, which the yacht club is like a multiple $1,000 experience. Even with a 3-night cruise, you're looking at a couple $1,000s per person, just because it's that haven-like experience, which is insane. Looking at the Seashore, if you want to take a look at that ship, in my ship tours playlist on my channel, When I sailed on Seashore last year. I have a tour video where I go through all the decks and all the areas. If you want to check that out. Arizona doesn't change the clocks? I did not know that. That's interesting. I'm surprised I got the offer, to be honest with you. I think the craziest one was the one where for Grandiosa we had that upgrade where it was like I think it was $50 to upgrade from an inside to a balcony, but we got the offer or we got the offer accepted for the $50. But instead of getting just a generic balcony, it was actually an obstructed view balcony is what we bid it on, and they ended up giving us the Aria spa balcony instead, which is insane. Do we have to mention the channel or discount information? So no, as long as you use that link, and usually it'll say "Cruising is Life" and a little profile picture of mine up in the corner. But as long as you use that link, it'll track it directly through me. So you don't have to do anything. There's even a phone number on the splash page. If you call that phone number and talk to an agent directly, that phone number is tied to me as well. So it won't be me that you talk to, but it will be one of the agents, and they'll know that you came from me. Because I know some people do, instead of booking online, they prefer to talk to an agent as well. So those agents are very good and very knowledgeable, and they'll take good care of you as well. I'm definitely somebody that like to do it. I like to do it myself. So I usually like to go and book through the website directly, but there are some people that like to book by actually talking to somebody. Until 80 days out. I noticed that as well. That was around the time where I started getting my seaside offers, which was funny because I was getting those upgrade offers before I made the final payment on that cruise, which was crazy. I was like, huh? But I still need to go through and actually bid on that at some point. Because honestly, $100 for Yacht Club, I might as well, right? Right, exactly. Yeah, without using my link, it's a generic 800 number, but it's a 407 number that's on my splash page, and by calling that, they'll know it came through me. But yeah, they also have this. They call it the best rate guarantee. They're gonna make sure they'll go out of your way if you find another agency or another, if you find the price cheaper on the cruise line website, they'll make sure they'll price match or beat that price. So they tout themselves that they will make sure you get the best price on your cruise too. They'll go out of their way. They'll cut commissions out just in order to get you guys the best deal. So, yeah, they're great people. I've met the guy that runs it, the couple of the people that work there, but they're awesome people. They're great to work with, and yeah, they're very nice, good people. They've also got me a lot of really cool opportunities, like we got to do the press event for Brilliant Lady. We've gotten a couple ship tours at this point, so good stuff. Yeah, yeah, Venezia is moving pretty slow today. Okay, let's, boom, there we go. There she comes, Carnival Venezia, first one out of the day. There we go. All right, here we go with the Carnival Venezia. Looks awesome today. All right, we'll catch up on the chat here momentarily after the ship comes by, but thank you all so much for hanging out. All right, let's zoom you guys in. Alrighty, let's check back in with you guys. Let's see. Ken, hello, welcome. You could send pictures of 3 tuxedo kitties very interested in the street. Oh my gosh, I want to see that. I think there's a way like I can, viewers can like post on my community tab. I'll have to see if I can do that. I'll have to turn that on or look into doing that. Well, that's funny though. Non-ship related news. They just opened a Jack in the Box at Millennium Mall. Oh really? That's cool. I was just at Millennium Mall just recently. Is it in the mall or is it just near the mall? Set up a Discord. I have one for my gaming channel that never gets used anymore, so I'll look into it. I've thought about doing that, like as a, members get a Discord server, maybe like members will get like a specific channel on the Discord server or something like that. I'll look into it. They're not overly difficult to set up. Oh, okay. Holland and Virgin, the way to go. I got to tour Brilliant Lady. She's a very nice ship. I've never sailed with Holland though. I'd like to actually cruise with Virgin voyages soon. That would be really cool. I've heard there's a lot of similarities with Project Nirvana and Project Discovery. I'll leave it at that. But I haven't really heard too much. Well worth the money? That's good to hear. They're not quite all inclusive, but they're really close to it, aren't they?
I don't see them leaving yet. I can see them, but I don't see them moving.
I know Virgin is on a little bit more expensive side, but they seem to include some stuff too. No buffet, just 20. That part I did think was really cool. I guess where you would traditionally find the buffet was a food hall, I guess if you want to call it that, where you go up and you order the food instead of just grabbing it. With that concept, I really liked. They have that on the Prima class with Norwegian, and that was when I toured Prima. That was one of my favorite things about it. Is instead of going to the buffet, we went to the food hall instead, and by ordering the food and all that, it was a lot better than just like a grab and go buffet. So I really liked it in that sense. Yes, Venezia actually used to be a Costa ship. She was a Costa ship from she came out in what, 2018 or so? And up until 2023, she sailed for Costa, and then they transferred her from Costa over to Carnival due to COVID. Costa kind of struggled a little bit coming out of COVID with the restart, so Carnival needed the extra capacity, so they took over the ship for a little bit of time, made it the Costa by Carnival brand that they kind of came up with. So it looks just like a Costa ship. Everything else on the inside, it looks exactly how it was with Costa, but it's fully staffed by Carnival staff, captains, crew, everything. So it's a Carnival experience, but on a Costa ship. So you get like this really neat like Italian experience, because Costa is their Italian brand. But yes, I think Costa is making a comeback. I think I've heard a couple times that they've been looking into a new build sometime soon. So that'll be great to see from them. I hope they do well. But yes, we have the Venezia and the Firenze. Firenze sails out of Long Beach. She's identical to the Venezia. And both ships are part of Carnival's Vista class. So the Vista that we saw here yesterday in Port Canaveral is almost identical. The Costa version with Venezia and Firenze had some modifications to them, so they fit a little bit more and had that Italian feel to them. But to their core, they're essentially Vista class ships, and they're almost identical to the Vista class, with the exception of a couple tweaks here and there. I think notably is going to be the pool deck on the ship is significantly different than what you would see on the Vista. But yes, it does look, depending on what you're looking for. Yeah. That's kind of why I like to try everybody, because I have a relatively open mind when I go on all these cruises, so I just like to see what all of them have to offer. Like, I'm not somebody that would probably typically go on Princess, but I want to try it just to say that I've done it, and that way I can also at least like formulate an opinion on the brand, especially like from a content side. Do I like Princess? Would I recommend it, or would I not? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Glad you guys are enjoying. Our next up here should be probably the Sky Princess, if I had to guess what's next. We have the Star of the Seas, MSC Seashore, and the Sky Princess. They're all scheduled for 4:30 this afternoon. So just any minute now, just a few minutes away, we should be getting our next ship underway. Full-on horn war between Beyond and Symphony. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. The new Sun and Star Princess looks awesome. Yeah, I agree. I'm actually looking into, there's a somewhat short sailing on Star Princess when she comes here into Port Canaveral late next year. There's a relatively short sailing on her, and I'm kind of interested on it just to check that out. That disaster that happened with Costa years ago hurt probably a little bit. Definitely. I remember that was around the same time. When did the Triumph issue happen? Was that 2012 as well? That was around that same time, maybe 2011. They had the Triumph, you know, the poop cruise, if you want to call it that. They had that, then the Concordia sank, and then the Carnival Dream, one of their newer ships, was having engine problems as well. Carnival was doing so bad around that time because everybody was just canceling all their cruises because like, I don't want to sail with these guys. But I remember around that time, because we sailed on the Carnival Glory shortly after all of that took place in 2013, and we spent maybe pennies to go on that ship for an entire week. It was crazy. Ivan, hello. Charles, what's up? How's it going? Yes, Royal did have a Freedom of the Seas had a very, very big fire. I don't know if it was around that time, but it may have been around that time. But yeah, Freedom had a really bad one. That whole era, and I think that's why we don't see it happen very often anymore, is because a lot of additional regulations went into place. I think a lot of additional regulations went into place, like the generator backups, things like that. In this situation with Triumph, and probably additional, the scrubbers I think were added to Freedom shortly after as well, the sulfur scrubbers. I'm sure that probably helped a little bit with the issues that caused the root of the problem with the Freedom. Zyphon, how's it going? If I pronounce that right. What's going on? It changed the name to what Sunshine wasn't it from the... So Sunshine is the Carnival Destiny. The Triumph is now the Sunrise, and the Victory is now the Radiance. Those are the three from that class, and they all three got renovations and name changes around that time. But yes, so the Sunrise is Triumph, Sunshine is Destiny, Radiance, that's over in California right now. Radiance was Victory. Oh, the Carnival Freedom catching fire twice. Yeah, that's that was interesting. I can't believe it happened a second time. It's funny because our friend group, we were joking. We're like, if I had a nickel for every time that the funnel of Carnival Freedom caught on fire, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's crazy that it happened twice. I did see that about Infinity. She had a total engine. Carnival Sunshine had something similar to that recently too. I don't think she had to be towed back. They must have been, back under power and all that. But I noticed, I had seen something about Sunshine having a power outage for a while too.
My brother built a plane.
Yeah.
He built the B-52 bomber that was Bell.
That's crazy. Yeah, they're very lucky they were close to port. Yeah, I think they're finally gonna fix up some of the issues with Freedom. Not issues, but I guess the main issue would be the funnel. But kind of renovate her, get her all painted up, touched up, cleaned up, and get her a brand new funnel for a second time, and hopefully that's the last one they have to install on her. Really, I'm sorry to hear that. Was it? Um, I would take a guess and say at least one of them was Great Stirrup Key. But what was the other one? Norwegian's very cautious with stuff like that, though. I've seen them come up close to a port and just turn around and say no thanks. Out of New York. Yeah, NCL does skip ports a lot. I think they're just overly cautious when it comes to weather, and then especially with the tender ports, they won't even give it a try if there's even a small chance. What ships are stuck in the Middle East? That's a good question, actually. I think there's one or two Mein Schiff. They're they're the German line for TUI. There's like Mein Schiff 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But I think there's two of those that are stuck over there. I think the most notable one is the MSC Eurybia, which is a sister to the Grandiosa. She was stuck over in Dubai when all of that stuff went on. Yeah, that is crazy that Breakaway did that. That was crazy to see, though, all those ships that were like stuck out there. I think there was 4 or 5 of them. There was a couple, but yeah, most notably was the Eurybia sitting out in Dubai. She was just kind of stuck in no man's land. At any point in this, yeah, yeah, it's crazy. That region of the world is always just so unstable, and it's always historically been like that. Makes you think you're leaving today. That's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's fun. It's fun coming out here and doing this. I'm really glad you guys enjoy it too. So it makes it that much more worth coming out. Mein Schiff 4 and 5, Eurybia, Celestial, Discovery, and Journey, and Arroyo. Oh, Arroyo is that one that's like the modified Breakaway for, is it Arroyo Cruises, something like that? But yeah, that's crazy though. The Boulevard. Flew from Qatar to Afghanistan. It was 3 hours of wow, that's crazy. Coop, what's up? What's up? How's it going, buddy? How was Quantum? That's crazy. I'm sure the typical U.S. military response was like, LOL, okay. Send the freedom to yeah. Oh gosh. Let's not get too involved in politics here, but that was funny. She goes, Quantum was real nice. The class, oh, that's good to hear. That's cool. Yeah. Because you've done Odyssey too, right? That's cool. Yeah, it looked like you had a great time. Your crew, were you solo on that? It's like daydreaming, thinking of you were on one of those ships sailing away. Yep. Your sail away day will come soon. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it was definitely very sketchy and scary being on those ships, though. Did Quantum in Alaska and then Odyssey 15. Oh, okay, that's right. Coop, what? I don't know. Oh God. Meravilia Plus over Quantum Class, and that's an interesting take. I haven't sailed on the Quantum Class to make that judgment, but I will say the Meravilia Plus ships are pretty awesome, so I could see it. Turns out they were going to an air show. That's funny. Alrighty, we should hopefully end up with another one underway here relatively soon. Thank you guys all for hanging out, though. For those who are just tuning in, be sure to leave a like on the stream. Lets me know that you guys are having a great time, and I hope you guys are having a great Sunday afternoon as well. And of course, we do this every single weekend here in Port Canaveral and other Florida cruise ports. So definitely subscribe if you're someone new to the channel, and welcome. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the afternoon here in Port Canaveral, as I hope this bee doesn't fly into my trunk.
On board the Star of the Seas. Star of the Seas is preparing to get underway from cruise terminal number 1, Port Canaveral, heading outbound for sea. Concern traffic come up on channel 12.
Oh, nice. All right, Star. Getting hazy? It's not too hazy.
Recall Canaveral Files on board the Star of the Seas. Star of the Seas is preparing to get underway from cruise terminal number 1, Port Canaveral, heading outbound for sea. Concern traffic come up on channel 12.
I think there's a little bit of, it's like a very thin cloud that's covering over the sun right now.
Recall Canaveral Files on board the Star of the Seas. Star of the Seas is preparing to get underway from cruise terminal number 1, Port Canaveral, heading outbound for sea. Concern traffic come up on channel 12. This channel, Star of the Seas.
Nice. Yeah, I think the very thin cloud that's over the sun right now is what's making it look hazy, though. The lighting around this time is a little interesting. Yeah, departures this weekend are a little bit slower. I think, well, typically, I think part of it is with Sky Princess being at 4:30. Typically, she's a 3:30 ship, so usually around now we would already be getting our second one going, or almost already gone at this point. So, yeah, I guess they're a little bit slower today. Yeah, some weekends they're just rapid fire. They'll be one after another, and then there's some weekends where they kind of take their time.
Cap Star of the Seas, dropping lines, cruise terminal number 1. Be your next customer. Checking on your wires.
Next customer.
Wires are down. Understood, wires are down, thank you.
For those wondering, the wires down, there's a dredger. As the Venezia was going by, you probably saw the dredger sitting out in the corner. The dredger, so the wires basically are what I don't exactly know what the wires are for, to be honest, but essentially that's them talking to the dredger, making sure they've got the wires in the floor, making sure that they're not going to be, scrubbing the bottom of the ship, or the ship's not going to hit them. So that's what they do. Now, since they're doing some dredging operations here over the next probably several months here in Port Canaveral, they usually just call and say, hey, we're underway, make sure you're clear, we're coming through. Alrighty, Star of the Seas. Filing the prop of a cruise ship would bankrupt the dredging company. Oh, absolutely. You break one of those azopods, dude. That's a massive insurance claim, I'm sure. That would not be good. That would be awesome. More horns from Star. That would be fantastic. You are Zach Campbell. I used to watch Zach Campbell all the time. He's crazy. I cannot imagine catching that many baseballs at a game. Bro's just like always in the right spot. Come here, big old bug eye. Chris Netherlands, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. All right, here's a question for the stream. Legend of the Seas. It's got a 3-night when she first arrives into Fort Lauderdale later this year. It's with my discount from the travel agency, we're looking at like under $700 per person for a 3-night cruise. It's extremely expensive, but it's the first U.S. sailing, or first sailing from the U.S., at least advertised, on Legend out of Fort Lauderdale. Should I or should I not? I do have a hat. I have just like a Yankee baseball cap on. I do have like a little big sun hat that I don't really wear it that often anymore. But yeah, a quick little 3-night on Legend in November is top of my radar at the moment. It's expensive for a 3-night cruise, but it is Legend. I've already done Icon, I've done Star. Might as well make it 3, right? It is a little expensive. I will completely agree with that. I think the rationale is it's Legend. That's the only reason. Don't go into financial. Yeah, I think that's the goal. That's the goal. Oh, Mom's here in chat. Everyone quiet about the shit. I'm not booking any cruises. I'm not booking anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Hi, Mom. Nothing to see here. These bees are getting intense. They're all over the place now. Yeah, you saw nothing. Does Star leave, or does Star have the Solarium Bistro all the way forward? And you, good question. I don't believe she has, because there's not necessarily a solarium, so there's no Solarium Bistro. There's something up there though. I know. So Hooked, the seafood restaurant, is inside the Aquadome though. That I do know. Um, I thought they had some sort of Mediterranean thing that was equivalent to Solarium Bistro. Oh, they have Aquadome Marketplace in place of it, though. Yes, that's essentially, I guess, the trade-off there. But I think Aquadome Marketplace is a lot better. Plus, it's free. Aquadome Market is awesome. Aquamat. Why did that make me think of that video of that little kid like, I love Aquaman?
Copy, I'll start pushing them now.
Caught a game home run at the trial. Oh, really? Wait. We'll do that. Aqua's down in Azapod? That's crazy. I didn't know that. I'll have to ask Dimitri about that, if he knew anything. Mardi Gras twice, nice. That's cool. Mardi Gras is a fantastic ship. I've only been on her once, but I'd be interested to go again when she moves to those 4s and 5 cruises. She is an interesting looking ship. Oh, just one of his, okay. Yeah, these Icon ships are really interesting. They're very rectangular, very boxy. They're not the most appealing thing in the. I think it's a really cool design though, actually. So I wouldn't say they're not appealing, but they're definitely different in their design. But they definitely look like just a giant rectangle when you're looking at them. Oh, referring to the dredging. Oh, okay. Oh, -1 Azapod, referring to the. Oh, okay. I get it now.
Carnival pilot aboard MSC Seashore. MSC Seashore is preparing to depart Port Canaveral's West Base and Cruise Terminal 10. Bound for sea, standing by channel 12 for concerned traffic. Pilot aboard the MSC Seashore. Security, Canaveral pilot aboard the MSC Seashore, preparing to depart Port Canaveral's Cruise Terminal 10. West Basin, bound for sea, standing by channel 12 for concerned traffic. Pilot aboard the MSC Seashore. Seashore, preparing to depart Port Canaveral's West Basin, Cruise Terminal 10, bound for sea, standing by channel 12, this channel 4 concerned traffic. Pilot aboard the Seashore. Copy.
Got to see Coastal Carolina beat East Carolina 7-1 yesterday. Nice. It is early for Seashore. She's been leaving at 4:30 lately. She's been much earlier than normal. Grandiosa is usually pretty consistent with 5, but Seashore has moved up to 4:30. That was pretty early not last year, but pretty early this year, maybe early December at the earliest. But yeah, she's been 4:30 pretty consistently. Yeah, I left about this time last month. Yeah, I think did I get zoomed in on you? I think I was looking for you up on the front. That must mean star is 5B. Yeah. Jaco, what's up? On the move. Yes, she is moving. All right. Let's see what we got on the radio here. Cruise on Utopia this is not a big fan of having to book on the app for shows. Rather, that I agree with. I think just with the pass-through capacity, it makes it easier, I guess. That way you're not all fighting for it. But yeah, I definitely agree. I don't like having to book it all ahead of time.
I appreciate your help. You have a good afternoon. You can't. You'll have a safe trip out.
But yeah, I don't like having to book ahead of time. But I guess if you're quick enough on the app, then it's fine. What days do we live stream? We live stream every Saturday and Sunday here from Port Canaveral. Sometimes we'll mix in other Florida cruise ports, but typically 99% of the time we're here in Canaveral. Hello, hello from Texas Cruise Connoisseurs. Awesome, welcome in. Sky Princess will probably follow Seashore. Yes, I think that'll probably be the case. If you have the chance, what would you like to change or improve on cruises? That's a good question. I feel like the I feel like one of the things that are most prevalent right now is that a lot of the cruise lines are monopolizing the destinations, whether it be, like for example, Royal Caribbean with Coco Cay, a lot of that you have to pay for. The new Royal Beach Club experience, you have to pay. That's a paid experience that's exclusive to Royal within Nassau. They push that a lot. They're doing the same thing in Cozumel. They've got a destination like that in Greece. Like stuff like that. It's good to have for the cruise lines, but hopefully you get horns from Star. Seashore, Seashore is very consistent with them. Yeah, Star was crazy. Star is a crazy looking ship, man. She's so big too. Right, exactly. Like even with it this far away from us, what is that, like a mile from us maybe? Half a mile? I don't know the distance, but even like from this distance, I mean, she still looks massive. Whether you're up close to it, seeing it from far away, like it's unbelievable how big this thing is. Oh, there's Prima.
Prima, this is Canaveral Pilots. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. We're confirming our departure time at 1800 local time.
Nice.
Good copy. 1800 for departure. Your pilot will be there at least 15 minutes prior and boarding you shoreside.
Yep.
Pilot boarding at least 15 minutes prior to departure time from the shoreside. Thank you. Have a good day.
It definitely takes a lot of people to build these. But yeah, it's crazy that to think of what is going to come out of Meyer Turku after the Icon class. That project's definitely somewhere along the lines of in development, I'm sure. But it is crazy to think that like there's going to be something that eventually succeeds the Icon class. which is just insane to think about. It won't be the Discovery class. That serves a different purpose, but there's going to be something else too. Just insane to think about.
Brandon,
What's up?
look, Seashore's off the dock.
Seashore's off the dock? Oh, but you're right. That's good. But it definitely takes many, many people to get these things built. And a lot of cranes, technology, and I think as technology evolves too, these just get built faster and faster. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying the live stream so far. If you are, be sure to leave a like on the stream. Lets me know that you guys are having a great time here. And of course, if you're new, just turning in for the first time, we do this every single weekend here in Port Canaveral. So definitely hit that subscribe button to make sure you catch every single live stream here or every single sail away here from Port Canaveral every weekend. Sweet, yeah, you can see the seashore behind her now. Cool. Where's the remote? There we go. Star is moving quick, yeah. Wow, yeah, she is moving really fast. First time impressions count. When I was doing first cruise, not interested in them at first. I've only done 3, but really looking forward. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, exactly. Setting expectations is like the most important part. Carrie B, what's up? Hello from Symphony. I was about to say, I was saying earlier, there's somebody else here in chat, or they were earlier, that's on Symphony. I was like, I'm pretty sure one of the members is on there. But I hope you have a good time. Where is it? Okay, there it is. That's awesome. Turn around in the basin for sailways. Nice. Yeah, I think there's somebody else that was here in the chat earlier, at least, that's on Symphony with you. Still there. Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I was gonna say somebody here. That's cool. I hope you both have good time on Symphony. Nice, very cool. Got to get the ship spotting. Got to get the ship spotting fix in for the day. Watching as many sailaways as you can. Nice. That's awesome. Man, this is a huge ship. It's probably Jerry. Where'd he go? I think Jerry's taking pictures of me with his drone. Creepy. Hi, Jerry. I'll catch up with the chat here momentarily. But how was that sail away here for the Star of the Seas? What an incredible ship this is. Just seeing this every weekend. It's very much a awesome treat to have here. You really could play hide and seek on this thing and not ever see them again. You'd see them at the car basically on Sunday morning when it's time to get off the ship. Never seen an icon in person yet, but I mean, it's crazy. I mean, if you think it looks big, just like seeing it in the videos, seeing one of these in person is just a completely different experience. And it's funny because dimensionally and like size-wise, they're not too far bigger than the Oasis class, but it just looks miles larger than the Oasis class, even despite being pretty close in size. You have to see one in person just to really experience what it is.
Oh, here comes another one. That one looks taller than that one. That's taller than long, I think. I'm sure they've been eating too.
All right. We'll give Star just a few more minutes of screen time, just a little bit longer, but Seashore is coming up the channel here, though. We're having AA. Nice. I was about to say, hey, oh, welcome in. Watching on the TV today. Nice. That's cool. Thank you for watching today. Thank you, everybody, for joining in today's stream. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're in battle between Symphony and Independence. Oh, cool. That's awesome. That is really cool.
That's why it looks taller.
All right, let's go ahead and spin around to the MSC Seashore. Our next ship out this evening here. And we just had the Norwegian Prima call over the radio, so she has confirmed a 6 p.m. departure. So seems like Sky Princess, hopefully, as long as everything holds out, she should be the next one out.
Sky Princess is moving.
Is she moving?
Yeah, she is.
Good to hear. Very nice.
But she doesn't be doing what we're doing. I thought she was supposed to.
Next one out, just about to exit the middle base. Wires are down. Wires are down.
How many times have you been on Seashore? Now, you just went on it. You're about to go on it again. Or is that the only 2 times?
You want marriage to be around? I don't think so. So, honey, how do you want to do that? No. And it's not even a quarter full.
Oh yeah, I can see Sky just barely starting to come off the dock there in the corner. If you can kind of zoom in down in the bit. 3 or so, maybe next will be the 4th. Nice. That's cool. That's crazy. That's good that you like the ship that much. And it's close to home. Yeah, that is she's gonna move down to 6 and 8s in Miami. But we'll get Grandiosa. Grandiosa, I loved the Grandiosa. I know I talk about this ship all the time, but I love the Grandiosa. That's gonna be. I'm glad that, like, of anything, I'm glad Grandiosa is gonna be the one that replaces Seashore on these 3 and 4 nights. So at least we're getting a very good alternative. Love Boat is coming now on TV, so that's so funny. That's cool. That is cool. I like that they do the Love Boat horns. It makes it interesting, right? Like, kind of gives it some sort of creativity behind it. You know what I mean? Different from everything else. Yes, very nostalgic for sure. See you hitting my car.
Thank God for that, right? Oh, the MSC.
Only one today. Interesting. They'll probably do another one. 2 in a row, though. Alrighty. Just one moment, everybody, and I'll catch up on the chat. Sorry if I've missed anything. Watching from home, loving the show this week. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I love being able to hear the sail away parties. That's like the best part about these lately. What was it yesterday? Grandiosa. Yeah, Grandiosa had like a massive sail away party going on yesterday. You could still hear it as if they were standing right next to you. And as they were like going around the corner, it was insane how loud it was. It was amazing yesterday. Alrighty.
That's something I'd like to do, actually. I think that would be a blast. We've been. That's where I got this shirt. She does, doesn't she? She's loud.
Alrighty, checking in with chat. Is Grandiosa more spacious than Seashore? Hallways, common areas? It's a vastly different layout. But I actually, yes, I did find Grandiosa a little bit more spacious just because of the way the ship was laid out. They have a very large promenade area down the center of the ship on Grandiosa with a really cool like LED dome-like structure over the top of the promenade, which was really cool. Whereas Seashore has like a really big, oval shape atrium and then a lot of narrow hallways going in all directions. So I found Grandiosa a little bit more easy to navigate, but also, better, just better layout overall.
Oh my god.
Yeah, MSC never lets us down with the horns. Those aft suite areas are nice. Oh yeah. I'm sure by the end of the cruise, everybody starts to figure out that they're there. Have to go up and exactly. I remember and it's funny because on Seashore, Seashore had like a little tiny, very small generator fire. It was not a big deal. But they had so a top part of the top deck was actually closed off when I sailed on it. And so with that, so like if I was on the port side of the ship in the front area, like in the midsection, over by top 19, in order to get to the nearest elevator, I had to go all the way to the very back of the ship. But I'd have to cut through the water park and then go back and then down and then back in order to get to the closest thing. So it was a really confusing layout. On the other side of the I hope you have a great cruise though. Thank you.
I would too.
Yeah. The Seashore and Seascape are fantastic ships though. Like, don't get me wrong, they're fantastic ships, but it'll take you a little bit of time to navigate them. I think by the time I sailed on Seascape, the sister ship, I was perfectly fine with it all, but it was a little confusing, like checking it out for the first time on Seashore and, having that area closed off.
Yeah, that one's really
Lost on deck 5 and 6 in the age. Yeah, I noticed that. It's funny because like that class, it's 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 goes both directions. 7 goes one direction. 6 goes the other direction. Then 5 is just only like a small hallway. It's like the photo gallery, but then the other direction are cabins. So it's like so many different directions. Like each deck goes a different direction. So it can get a little confusing in that regard. But I liked it overall. I thought it was a really cool design. After you get the hang of it, it's really nice. I'm interested to see how Seaside compares. They're apparently vastly different layouts. Yeah, the marketplace on the buffet is huge on that class. Absolutely massive. They're one of the biggest buffets I've ever seen on a ship.
But you go to Portugal? You go to Portugal. Dave wants to go to Portugal. I'd like to go to Portugal.
Well, no, I wanted to go to one where you actually fly to
Alrighty. So now we got our 4th ship underway. We got the Sky Princess heading out for the final time this season. She is transatlantic bound, so she's headed over to Europe for the summer, and then she'll be returning later on this year for the winter season again, like she did here this year. But we will not have any Princess cruise action here in Port Canaveral for about 2 months, but then we're going to have the Caribbean Princess take over for her, for Sky Princess here relatively soon.
Inbound Port Canaveral, approaching buoy 7 and 8 north of the channel. We'll be turning in the middle basin, docking at cruise. Island Channel 12 for any confirmed traffic, Victory 1.
Victory 1, we're not too concerned about that.
Stingrays, sharks.
You see a lot of jelly too. Well, there was the castle of jellyfish down on the
Yeah, they're Portuguese man of wars now.
Sports Court on Grandiosa and enclosed. Yes, it's actually fully enclosed, which is really cool. And the sports court kind of extends outside the little basketball court area, but there's an indoor basketball court essentially. You know, of course, they pull out the basketball goals, but they also do. I thought they did roller skating, but I never saw it. But maybe I'm wrong on that. But they also will do that'll turn in like a pickleball court. They even do soccer in there. They do. What is it? But then also in there's 2 Formula 1 simulator, like racing simulators, which is really cool. There's a VR arcade and then a full-size bowling alley in there with 2 lanes. So that sports court area is insane.
must be a big fish or something.
We didn't miss, not too many. We still got 2 ships left to go, so you've got plenty to still sit back and watch. But welcome in. I hope you're having a great Sunday afternoon. Yes, welcome in everybody. Those who are just tuning in, be sure to leave a like on the stream. Lets me know that you guys are having a good time. You're enjoying the sailaways here this afternoon. And of course, if you're joining us for the very first time, we do this every single weekend here in Port Canaveral and other Florida cruise ports as well. So if you enjoy these live stream sailaways or you just want to watch sailaway videos, cruise vlogs, ship tours, all sorts of different stuff here on this channel. So definitely hit that subscribe button if that piques your interest. If you're a cruise nerd like I am, you're definitely in the right place. We are huge nerds about cruise ships. Yeah, she's awesome with the musical horns. Yeah, she's a very pretty ship. Let's zoom in a little bit here, why don't we? As she starts to come up the channel here. There we go. Alrighty. Found you a cruise on Seashore next Feb with Caleb, deluxe Aria balcony, 1244. That's not a bad deal. That's not a bad deal on Seashore. A deluxe Aria balcony too. Actually, that's for an Aria. That's very good. Wow. I think Caleb is going on Seashore, I think in December. I don't know if he's booked it yet or not, but he was looking at it. Yeah, I've always found it funny, like the ping pong tables out there, because I've seen the wind catch the little ping pong balls and send them flying.
And how many days are going to be gone?
I have a Norwegian Aqua model waiting for me in Tampa. Shall I go to Tampa next weekend to ship spot and stream over there? Question mark. Just so I can go get my model. It's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll convince Dimitri to come out here. Dimitri, are you still in the chat? Tampa was nice. Somebody's smoking something a little earthy around here. There we go. Hold on. Boom, got it. How many ships in my collection so far? I have 103, 103. It's a pretty extensive collection. I've been meaning to do like a video update on them. Yeah, bots always create a problem. What do I want for dinner tonight? I don't know. It would come in waves on Twitch, but at least that's good. I think that's what happened with my TikTok account, honestly. I think it was doing so good. TikTok was getting so good to the point where it was almost my main place for content. Like I almost transitioned away, not away from YouTube, but like kind of like prioritized TikTok over YouTube because it was doing so well. But out of nowhere, just like a wave of bots came through and it just ruined everything on TikTok. I mean, it killed the monetization, it killed my engagement, it killed everything. So, which is quite a bummer. About the amount of ducks your daughter's collected on cruises. My mom loves to hide the ducks, and she loves finding them. Anytime they're on a cruise, it's like a text in the family group chat is like, "Oh my gosh, I found one!" And then like she'll get the joke is, oh, we're from Florida, so we use alligators instead of ducks. But my mom loves to do that.
They might be watching the boats go out.
Yeah, I know we did the alligators on Wonder.
We still don't have that pair of binoculars work. I'll have to take them out because they weren't that great. It's always nice to have binoculars. We don't have a really good pair.
Hello, hello, Falcor, what's going on?
Oh my. There they go.
Gators and oh, you've done flamingo. I didn't. Have you done the flamingos yet, or is that on Oasis? There, you're doing the flamingos.
There's some on the right too.
When I find the ducks and everything like that, I like finding them and like hunting for them, but when I find them, I usually leave them be, and so because that's the last thing I need is like a ton of people or a ton of additional like just rubber ducks around my apartment and all that. Like that's the last thing I need to like start collecting is all those that I find on cruises. But it is fun to find them. I usually just leave them be for somebody else to grab them. But it is fun finding those around the ships.
Oh my gosh, it takes you that long to get to England? Oh, that's right. You're going to Portugal too.
What's the itinerary? Quick run.
Look at you.
We like to,
No. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, here comes another one. You think they're gonna have their bellies hit, but they don't. Oh wow. They probably only have one.
Found a few ducks over the years, but one cruise someone had hid painted rocks. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've seen the painted rocks before. That's definitely a new one. Today from Brisbane, Australia. I'll be cruising on Mardi Gras in December. I have been on that ship. Actually, I have a ship tour of the Mardi Gras from earlier, I guess a little under a year ago. But yes, I sailed on the Mardi Gras a couple years ago. Fantastic. Honestly, she is my favorite Carnival ship. Amazing, amazing ship. Yeah, Mardi Gras is a fantastic ship, though. Definitely my favorite in the fleet. You have the Rocky Fountain. That's cool. That's definitely like a unique one. I would definitely hold on to that too.
Oh, you mean this ship is gonna do that after this? Oh.
Yes. So on my channel, there's a playlist titled Ship Tours. Um, it should only be a few down. It's pretty early up, but there's a tour of Mardi Gras, a whole list of ships, but Mardi Gras was last year, so it should be towards the top of the list. The most recent one was like Norwegian Star. We did a lot of tours last year, which was amazing. But She should just be a couple down. Yes, duck hunting is not allowed, or duck hiding is not allowed on the, what is it, the Central Park areas on all the Oasis class ships and Icon class. I think it's just because it's messing with the plants, essentially, is what it is. Come on. No, no, nope, 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 nope. Come on. The amount of people that just like walk out in front of the camera is always just so funny. No. But I think it messes, I think, with the plant life is essentially what it is. I don't know if it truly is harmful for it, but that's the reason behind it. So I guess you got to respect it in that sense. Never knew the whole duck thing was a thing. Just thought kids left ducks from a claw machine lane. Oh, it's a huge thing. There's people, I've seen some like that I've found where they'll like put little tags on them, like who they are, and like where to find them, and things like that. Or like, you know, the so-and-so family cruise 2026 or whatever it is, you know, they'll put like a little tag and stuff like that on it. It's cool. Sometimes it's just random ducks too. It's a huge family and they're all just really close. I have seen some big ones. I found a really big duck on Venezia last year. Streaming in progress. All right, here we go. Next one coming up. Oh, geez. Sorry about that. I don't know if that's going to screw with the stream or not. Oh, okay, they turned it on. Never mind. Just kidding. Hopefully this doesn't get copyrighted just for that. That's okay. Last one. No, we should have Prima after this. This guy just like parked right next to me, blasting his music. Can't hear this. Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. It's just like a random beat. It's like I don't really mind the music, but it's also like it's a paranoia thing on my end because I don't want to get the stream like copyrighted. Because then it creates a whole list of issues with YouTube. right, come on, give us some love boat horns here today, Sky. Sweet. Love it. That's funny. It actually worked. All right, let's zoom in here real quick. We'll catch up on the chat here momentarily, but thank you guys all for tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream as the Sky Princess heads out. If I missed any chats here, I'll catch up with you guys here momentarily. Alrighty, let's see. How was that? We got some horns today. Love that, love that. Hello from Australia. Oh, we got more people from Australia. That's awesome. We have quite a few of you here today, which is cool. 9 months ago. Yes, that's it. It was about 9 months ago. I think last May is when I did it. So yeah, that sounds about right. Right on schedule for the... Whoops, hold on. Alrighty, so long, Sky. We'll see you later on this year. Heading out for the final time this season, and she'll be back, I think, in November or December. She's heading off to Europe.
There's no other.
You all right over there? To the photo bomb. Honestly, that ship always is photo bombing. It's so funny. Floyd. Bye. You leaving, Alex? All right, I'll see you next weekend. That's not good. Alrighty, one ship left to go. Should be leaving in the next 15 to 20 minutes for the Norwegian Prima. Having really nice daylight departure for her today, which would be awesome. I'm very excited to get more daylight footage of her.
Hey, you got a good shot from the start of the sea, right?
What's that?
You got a good shot for the start of the sea?
Oh yeah, it's like a live stream for YouTube, but yeah.
Oh, you got YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. What's the name?
It's just my first and last name. It's Brandon Barker.
Can I check?
Yeah.
So we just messed it up, your video on this one?
No, you're fine.
Try to put the music on that.
No, you're fine.
Put that, You got a card or something? Or?
Yeah. So it's got QR codes on the back, but it's got YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that.
Nice. You're gonna see me. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem. Alrighty. So we'll stay focused here on the Star Princess, or why did I say Star Princess? Sky Princess here in Port Canaveral. She heads out for the last time, and then we'll turn around. We'll turn around to Prima here momentarily. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. We do this every single weekend, so we'll have plenty of this content. We have a decent amount. We have some vlogs from the Mardi Gras a while back. They're a little old, but there are some vlogs. But I appreciate you subscribing. Welcome to the channel, and I hope you enjoy these live streams. Soliciting viewers. Oh, it's funny because I used to have so many people that would. I used to have so many people that would ask like for cards and things like that, to where I was like, I never really thought about doing like a business card, but like I made a bunch just because I would always get asked so many times while I was out here. So it's, it's cool to just like kind of hand them out, and it makes it easy for them to find them too. All right, let's turn around. Let's see, there it is. So the Prima's down in that back corner there. There we go. We'll zoom in on the funnel here just a bit. We can sign that says live stream in progress. Nah, I enjoy it. It's cool, like interacting with people, whether they're viewers or kind of just like coming across me for the first time. It's cool. Just chatting with people, because sometimes they're like, oh, are you here for the rockets? Are you here for the ships? Or like, what are you filming? Stuff like that. It's usually cool. Sometimes you get some like weird faces, like you're here to film ships, but it's cool. We did have one time, this was like 2 years ago, somebody like drove up and were like, oh, like, what are you filming? I'm like, oh, like we're here to film the cruise ships leaving. And the lady just like laughed, like just bursted out laughing and just like drove off. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I guess that's okay. What are the chances of seeing a rocket launch in December? Is there a schedule that you could look at? So there is a schedule. I don't know exactly where. I could verify. Let me, because a friend of the channel, he does a lot of stuff for the rocket launches. He does a lot of the filming. I think he streams the rocket launches too from Canaveral. So he may have the schedule, but I think it only goes out about a month. But I would say the chances are pretty high, though, of catching a rocket launch out here. It happens very, very frequently at this point. They do a number of Starlink, SpaceX rocket launches every month. Every now and then you'll get one of the big launches too. Let me see if I can find a schedule. I think I'm pretty sure this is his stuff, but if it's not, it's somebody else. But let's see. Let's see how far it goes out. The furthest one out that I see is in mid-March, so I guess 2 weeks out. But I'll drop the link in the chat here for you. Yeah, check that link. Usually it seems pretty updated. I'm pretty sure a buddy of mine is the one that manages that website. So it's usually pretty up to date. But just keep tabs on that, and you'll see stuff about launches all the time. You see a submarine? Oh, so I don't. So I think that used to be a submarine, but that's not sitting in the water actually, because I thought it was a submarine for the longest time too. But I think it's not like a memorial or anything like that, but it's definitely something. I guess to show like our submarine activity that we have here as like a monument, I guess. But it's actually sitting on some grass, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I thought that was a submarine for a long time. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, we have a lot of rocket launch activity here in Port Canaveral, though. It used to be, well, actually, it started out pretty frequent, and then now it's only picking up and getting busier. So we have quite a number of launches every single month now, which is incredible. Sometimes it makes the ship spotting a little difficult because so many people come out for the rocket launches that the park here fills out very, very quickly and very early. But regardless, it is cool to see all these rocket launches. Especially, like, there's been days I'll just be sitting, like, working in my apartment, and I'll look up and I'll just, like, see an orange trail of a rocket launch just, like, going off. And it's just, like, everyday type of thing here. It's like, oh, cool, there's one going off today, I guess. Like, for most people, it's like, whoa. There's a ton slated for December. Okay, cool. Yeah. That's good. All right, no updates yet from Prima, but she should be probably the next 20, actually 10 minutes, really. She's scheduled for 6 o'clock, so she should be underway here relatively soon.
¿Qué pasó? Que te sientas en el sofá. Ese es el cuarto de Nela. No. No, ese es el cuarto de Daniela. Que te sientas en el sofá tranquilo, vete. Quédate tranquilo ahí, ahí vamos para allá. Quédate tranquilo ahí.
Busty, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks to the stream and the advice. Yeah, of course, anytime. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Again, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. What do we got here on the radio? During a live stream, do you... I can like hardly hear what they're saying, and it's like right up next to my ear. Ever seen submarine departure from... So not on the live streams, but...
We have only the gangway on deck 4 waiting for him. That's the only one remaining.
I have this like right up next to my microphone. I still can't hear what they're saying. But no, I haven't caught any submarines on the live stream. I've seen them before from ship spotting in the past, but it was prior to me doing the live streams out here.
It was like 3 months or 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a couple of people. I was here with my family, but I wasn't that day.
Uh-huh.
It was a huge submarine came over.
Oh, yeah.
Did you record it?
No, I don't think I was here for that, but that happens.
Heard about it?
Yeah, it happens. It's happened a few times while I've been out here,
A few
but
times.
yeah, it's honestly, it's so random. Like you just don't know when they're gonna show up sometimes.
Yeah, but they show up and the police came too.
Yeah, the police will escort them in. They usually will dock it over there by that big green or gray tower over there. But it's
That's illegal, right? No.
What's that?
That's illegal. Illegal.
No, it's a Navy base over there. So
The
it's
submarine is from them.
from the Navy. Yeah, yeah.
Because it was a guy. Oh, how many police around?
Yeah.
There will be rifles in the
Rifle and everything.
Yeah. Sometimes people like in kayaks will get a little close to the barrier over there, and you'll see swarm of like the police boats come over there and kick them out. But yeah, it's very heavily guarded. It's all Navy stuff over there.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's already, that's part of the NASA, right? Or not?
Yeah, NASA's on just a little bit further back. Yeah.
You record those too?
No, but I have a buddy that does. Yeah, he does the streaming and
We
like.
used to go at a place close to here that people hang out and put some stuff in the floor. Also, they had like some zip but we
Oh,
never
really?
found it again.
Oh, really? Interesting.
But and you see the shoulder not too close, but
Right.
you can feel the
You can feel the floor vibrating.
Yeah.
It's like a cross,
Yeah.
thing is
a
like
lake.
right in front of us.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, here's like one of the best spots for it because it's just right on the other side of the
Right
trees
here,
there.
right?
Yeah. There's like anywhere between kind of that tower and along the hills here basically is usually where they launch from.
Man, I wish to see it today, but
Yeah, they're pretty frequent
I
though.
think they're coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay. Yeah, I thought one was coming up soon.
We live in St. Cloud, so we saw it, but
Okay.
far away.
Okay.
Just see the light.
In front of our house.
Yeah, in front of the house.
Okay, yeah.
But not like too close, and then you feel the floor and the supersonic sound.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. That's an old boat.
Oh, that's right. What is it? The NASA museum is over that direction, right? Maritime Museum. Oh, really? I didn't know there was a maritime museum over there too. That's cool. I've always wanted to go visit that over there. Alrighty, come on, Prima. Let's get a move on. Thank you all so much for hanging out here, though, so far in the stream. Hope you guys are enjoying. Again, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. It helps out a bunch, and it lets me know that you guys are having a good time and enjoying these streams. And, of course, subscribe if you're checking us out for the very first time. We do this every single weekend here in Port Canaveral.
Traffic come up on channel 12, Norwegian Prima.
There it is.
Address.
Roger that, Cap. Still outside the channel, wires are down. What's the timeline on that last one?
Oh, I gotta charge the computer real quick. That's not good. Glad I caught that. Computer's about to die. I was not paying attention to that. Boom, there we go. Nice, saved it. My computer was literally sitting at 5%. Never actually gone through the gate over there. Just go to the... Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I need to make a visit over there sometime. That seems fun.
En lo que nos bañamos, llegamos a casa, nos bañamos y es que el se le cae el agua. Por decirle eso, y yo, mira, todavía tú me buscas y tú vas a seguir llegando. Ya está en escuela nueva, no va a pedir nada.
Last cruise, you were lucky enough to see 2 rocket launch. Wow, that's crazy. 2 of them is awesome. Night before the cruise, sitting in the hotel. A really odd sight. It's part of the sky. Oh, wow, that's cool. That's neat.
Está en modo satelital, sube. Ya llegué, no comer más, no bajar cosas, para afuera.
Rocket had just lifted off. Oh, wow. And in the morning, you pulled in. That's cool.
No, me la dejaron en lo que yo entré y salí. Ahí me sacó.
That's cool, though. We were actually supposed to see a rocket launch when I was on Grandiosa back in January, but the launch got scrubbed literally that afternoon, which a huge bummer. But surprisingly, out of all my Canaveral, I've caught it here ship spotting, but I've never caught it while on board a ship. People who are boarded early on the Prima are getting a port day here, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, she's typically a 6 o'clock ship anyways. Last week she was early, actually, which was a nice surprise, but her typical departure time is 6 o'clock, so she's kind of on time. It's just that, you know, she's just a lot later than normal. Should go over and reverse ship spot.
Y el radio. Para que vean, le metemos música. Y déjame que suene. La bocina.
Esos son dos bocinas
El radio de casa.
esa Daniel no le entiende, pero ellos no han visto radio de casa, ellos lo que ven es la bocinita. Con el...
Forgot actually the launch pad was over there. So at first, oh my God, that's a crazy thing to wake up to, isn't it? That'd be that. Oh my gosh. That would be quite the feeling to wake up to. She comes in around 4 a.m. Yeah. I know, that's right. She comes in super early, but she leaves late.
¿Cómo tú rentas apartamento? ¡Cabrón! Y te vienes así viniendo. Y una familia de 5 o 6, 4 adultos, y hablando de esa niña y ella por dentro.
Yeah, Prima's here a long time though. I think once, and I'm wondering if it was because last week the Venezia wasn't here, so I'm wondering once there's like less ships here, you know, on any particular day, like when there's less ships in port, maybe she'll leave early. But it is interesting though. Yeah, this ship does need to start moving, I agree. Come on. The pilots did call just a minute ago though. So I'm wondering, I don't know, she's got to be leaving sometime soon. The radio go? It was just in my hand. Oh, it's sitting in the trunk. Let's get a horn and blast the Japanese song. Get like the elevator music going. Ah, come on. You're right. It's funny. This place really cleared out. It was packed all day. Do you ever picture your Virgin Voyages sailing from Port Canaveral? That is a good question. I feel like if they had more ships, then it's definitely possible, but they seem to, I mean, with only 1 to 2 ships ever here, like in the U.S. or in the Caribbean at a time, typically, you know, there's usually one in like San Juan. Brilliant Lady is going to go over to Alaska soon. One's always in Europe. Like, you know, with the few number of ships that they have, it's not that they don't really have enough capacity. When they have a dedicated terminal they built specifically for themselves down in Miami, it's not likely that they would leave or send another ship out of here just due to the amount of ships that they have. It's just it's easier for them to schedule 4 ships compared to, you know, if it was Royal where they have 20 something ships. You know, that's a little bit harder to work around if you want to only exclusively use Miami. Is Prima on the move? The port webcam is down today. That's perfect. Good for me, right? That's why I'm here. I'm here for you guys. Don't worry. I always got your back. Yeah, Canaveral does have enough ships already, too. That's part of the problem. Oh, yeah, she is moving. I can definitely see it now. Where's the remote? There we go. Six ships. There are 6 ship days this summer. Are there really? That's insane. Finally, yeah, I agree. Crazy. It's gonna be a great daylight departure for her, though. She's always left, you know, with it being 6 o'clock. Usually it's dark here by 6, so it is great to have her leaving at a normal time. Plus, it's gonna be dark on my, or it's not gonna be dark on my way home. That's even better. That's gonna be the best part, is not driving home in the dark. Prima will make up for the wait, but I hope so. That would be awesome. Yeah, summer is close at hand. There won't be too many ships here. Well, actually, there's still going to be a lot of ships for summertime. There would be a lot of ships here, but the number of ship visits here are going to start slowing down just a little bit, and it's going to get really, really hot. But we're still going to, we'll be out here every weekend that we can possibly be out here. We'll be out here streaming. $120 degrees and 100,000% humidity. That is a average Florida Tuesday in the summer. There she is, coming around the corner. Nice, that's cool. A sail on Prima in April. Cool. We'll wave unless you have a. When do you go in April? I'll actually be on Luna in April, so hopefully I'm here that weekend to catch you, though. But I hope you have a great time. I had the opportunity to tour Prima back in November Beautiful ship, though. It's fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to going on her sister ship, the Luna, which got delivered this past week. Amazing. So cool. So exciting. April 12th. Oh, God. Of course. Unfortunately, I will not be here. I will be sailing on the Luna on the 11th. But I hope you have an awesome time on the Prima. You're going to have a great time. But I will be on her sister ship, the Luna. I'll be on I think it's the first day at sea on that one. I'll be doing streams from Luna as well. So if you enjoy stuff like this, I know they're not going to be the port departure live streams and all that. But if you guys want to, have a good one. Oh, no, I'm okay. Thank you, though. But I'll be doing live streams from every day on board the ship, though. So we'll be getting a first look of the ship and showing you guys the ins and outs and everything that the ship has to offer, whether it be through video or on a live stream. Go for the mud slide. I'll probably be on the same boat. Well, not same boat physically, but I probably will be drinking one of those as well. That's funny. All right, let's go ahead and spin it around. Ewing Cozumel. Oh, cool. Yeah, we go Eastern Caribbean. So I think our itinerary goes Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, Tortola, and then up to Great Stirrup Key. Whoopsies. Is it complicated to depart Miami compared to Port Canaveral? Yeah, I agree. It's an awesome itinerary. I would say Canaveral is easier. If you're local to Florida, it's a little bit easier because, I guess, if you're flying into the Orlando airport, it's about a 30 to 45 minute drive still from the airport, whether it be Uber or taxi, whatever it may be. It's about 30 to 45 minutes to get out here to Canaveral. But with Miami, the airport's right there. It's where it's like a 10-minute shuttle across. But I guess the advantage for Port Canaveral, though, even despite like having a 6-ship day like today, the traffic is never truly that bad. Miami, if one small thing goes wrong, the entire port just becomes a madhouse. I've been in Miami recently. I think it was when I sailed on Symphony back in 22. There was an accident inside the tunnel that heads over to the port. So not only was traffic on 95 backed up for several miles, but it took probably, like, from the exit off of 95 to the port, it took us well over an hour. Cruising Addict, what's going on? Hello, hello. But yeah, so one little thing goes wrong in Miami, especially on a busy day, like when there's 6, 7, 8 ships there, it can get really problematic. 528 is, yeah, exactly. 528 coming across from Orlando is usually pretty good for the most part. That road can get a little dicey if there's an accident, but I mean, what road doesn't get dicey in traffic if there's an accident? But I've never really had too many problems. Like coming out to Canaveral, like this time of year is a little iffy. There's usually, I'll run into about maybe 5 minutes worth of traffic coming out here lately, just because it's spring break time. Everybody's coming out to the beach. So in that scenario, it gets a little bit of traffic coming over the big bridge coming into the port. But other than that, it's really not that bad out here. I've never had problems with traffic when it comes to Port Canaveral, but every now and then you'll come into some really bad issues with Miami. Just take a yeah, exactly. A lot of the cruise lines will offer a shuttle service as well to get out there, out from Canaveral, or from the airport out to Canaveral too. So that's always nice. But if you're like me, you're a Central Florida-ish resident, then the Brightline is always an option as well. The Brightline train going down to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, wherever it may be. Take the Brightline train. Cost you maybe, depending on the weekend. Sometimes you'll get it like $50. Sometimes it's $100, whatever it may be. But sometimes it's a lot easier, than dealing with all the traffic, because it drops you off in the middle of downtown. At that point, you're a $10 to $15 Uber ride away from your actual ship. Thought it would be fairly rough when crossed the Atlantic in 24, but it's absolutely perfect. Oh, awesome. That's good. That's good to hear. But yeah, for our upcoming Luna cruise on Luna, and then Seaside shortly after, both of those are going to be out of Miami. We haven't booked the Brightline for Seaside just yet, but for Luna, 100%. Both of them were pretty much 100%. We just haven't booked the ticket yet for Seaside. But yeah, the Brightline is a huge, huge bonus for those of us who live in Central Florida and cruise frequently out of Miami. Let's see here. Staying in Titusville, when should I leave to get to the port? It varies on your check-in time. I don't usually run into too much traffic, but I myself, coming from Orlando, I'll leave anywhere between an hour to an hour and a half early. But it's all personal preference. You don't really run into traffic too often here in Canaveral, but the earlier, the better. It never hurts to leave early.
Hey, Cap. I think I thought I heard you calling us earlier, but I think you were calling the harbor master. I was the one who responded.
But Titusville's, it's not too far from here. Titusville's just about maybe 10, 15 miles north of the port. So it's not too far. It's a straight shot down 95, but it'll take you probably 30 to 45 minutes to get here or so. Titusville, 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. Yeah, as long as there's no traffic. So yeah. In that case, I usually budget double. Like in a case like that, if it says 20 minutes in a scenario where it's a cruise or something like that, then I would budget 40. As a safe buffer. I'm somebody that I have to show up early. But I always tell hurricane season, because cruises are cheap. Even did a cruise to Bermuda when a hurricane was fall. Oh gosh. Yeah, I usually do a cruise every September just because of how cheap it is. We have a 7-night on World America this year, right in the middle of September. And it should be a good time. Yeah, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I haven't had too many problems with cruising in September, but yeah, it's also a risk to take, but I typically do take the risk, knowing, again, expectations are everything. Like for me, I feel like that's my biggest advice, like with everything going on, when it comes to traveling on cruises and everything like that, is expectations are everything. If you're going on a budget cruise but expecting, a royal treatment, you're probably going to be disappointed. But if you're going on a budget cruise, you're looking for, a good experience, you'll be fine. If you go on a small ship expecting a massive water park and go-kart tracks, you're not going to find it. But if you go on a small ship looking for a more, traditional and intimate and old school experience, you're probably going to find that. But if you want the traditional old school intimate experience, you're not going to find that on Star of the Seas. You know what I mean? You're not going to find that on the mega ships. So expectations, when you book something, research the ship a little bit like that. I try to do as much as I can when it comes to guides and talking about the ships and providing as much information as I can. But you know, research as well is always, you know, helpful. There's so many content creators that do cruise stuff as well. They have really, really good stuff. Whether it be guides, tours. You know, I have a lot of tours on my channel, but you know, guides, tours, you know, things to do, what to expect, stuff like that. So expectations, and you know, just do a little research to kind of help set those expectations. Seems like Jacksonville is not as popular. Yeah, so Jacksonville is very limited by a bridge, similar to Tampa, and I think it's about the similar height or very close to it, but they're limited by a bridge as well in Jacksonville. So they're very limited in what can go in there. The Norwegian Gem is, I think, the largest thing right now. Well, definitely the largest thing right now, but I think one of the largest to ever go through Jacksonville. It's very, very rare. I think it's just the Carnival for like years and years and years. But Norwegian just recently started cruising out of there. I think they have the Gem out of there right now, but the Dawn will be taking her place relatively soon. How's sailing on the Prima doing? Eastern Caribbean, May 31st. I haven't sailed on her, but I did get a tour of the ship a couple months ago, and I thought it was fantastic. She's a very pretty ship. Lots to do, lots to see. You know, she has a lot of. She's one of the few newer, larger ships that kind of offer that older, intimate experience that you would get on the older, you know, ships, the older and smaller ships. So she does have a big advantage on that side, but she also does have the fun thrill factors like the go-karts, laser tag, the glow court, stuff like that. So she has a really interesting and nice mix of just about everything. Nestle's on the no-go list because that's funny. Spending too much money there. I usually just get off and take pictures of the ships and get right back on board. Alrighty, final ship of the day, Norwegian Prima. You start thinking about what I want to pick up on the way home for food.
Here's one thing I'll say. I am confident that has the capability and the potential to do the right thing, but he's not. Oh, I'm exhausted, this and that.
She comes obsessed with collecting charms. That's so funny. Suite guest check-in in the Haven line. If it's a Haven suite, then yes. When it comes to regular, do they have regular suites out? I guess they would. If I had to guess, I would say yes, but I'm not 100% confident on that. But unless it's a Haven suite, then yes. I had Chick-fil-A on the way home last night, so but unfortunately it's closed today, so that's a bummer. But yeah, chicken nuggets is not a bad idea. Maybe I'll stop at like PDQ. Do they have PDQ anywhere outside of Florida? Has anybody heard of that? Basically Chick-fil-A, but I would say Non-Haven Family Suite. Okay. I'm not 100% sure. To be honest, I wish I could give a good answer on that, but I'm not 100% sure. I think the safe answer would be no, but they might. Georgia used to have PDQ, didn't last long though. Maybe the mid. Oh, really? Same perks? Okay. Yeah, I think Georgia is Chick-fil-A's territory. But honestly, in my opinion, PDQ is just as good as Chick-fil-A. I think their fries are better. Sorry, I hope you guys are hungry because we're talking about food. There's always Chili's. I don't know if I want to spend 20 bucks on a quesadilla though. Ooh, yeah, Zaxby's. Chick-fil-A and Zaxby's is Georgia territory.
Reg Foley, pilot on the Prima. Foley? Hey, check that Caliber list. Close enough to you that you can get. Right, Cap.
Come on, Prima. Maybe we'll get a horn today. All right. I think she looks really good. I'm so excited to go on Luna. Love the daylight departure here for Prima. zoom in here for you guys. The Varsity. Oh, yeah. Georgia people would know that one. The Varsity was good. That's not necessarily chicken, though. But if you want a good hot dog, though. That's one that I haven't really heard of. I haven't heard of the Varsity in a while. I did work at Chick-fil-A in college. I did. Stubby but beautiful. Yeah, she's very short in length, but honestly, it seems like Aqua is much longer, but Aura looks very, very large compared to Prima for sure. I mean, 20% larger is crazy, but yeah, in comparison, I mean, she looks significantly larger. A good Indian place. Indian food is not my thing. Okay, let's see here. Am I a nerd from bringing my Nintendo Switch out to the port to play while I wait for the ships? So funny. But as the Norwegian Prima starts to head around that corner there, I hope you guys did enjoy today's stream. If you did, if you haven't already, definitely leave a like down below. It lets me know that you guys had a great time this afternoon. And of course, if you're new to the channel and checking us out for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We do this every single weekend here from Port Canaveral and other Florida cruise ports. So I hope you guys had fun. And we'll let the Prima still keep kind of going around the corner here. But thank you all so much for tuning in. And we will be back next week for another set of sailaways. Oh, we are almost at 100 likes. We are 3 likes away from 100 likes. Let's see if we can hit that before the stream ends. Thank you guys so much, though. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for liking the stream. We're just 3 simple likes from 100. Oh, 99. Very nice. One like to go. There it is. We got 2. Very nice. Thank you guys so much for hitting 100 likes on the stream. That's awesome. You guys are the best. We really appreciate you guys and all you know, supporting the channel and everything you guys do here. And I'm glad you guys enjoy. And yeah, well, there's definitely lots and lots of streaming content here for you guys in the near future. All right, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll go ahead and end the stream here and have a great week. And we'll see you guys right back here on Saturday for another set of ships. Have a great night, everybody, and have a great week.